This week on the Bowser Journal, we shovel poop, we make compost. If you want to have a garden, you have to know how to make good compost. It's cheaper than buying your own dirt. So come with us and watch how we do this. One of the things I've gotten really good at over the last couple of years is growing my own dirt. I know it sounds kind of weird. Wait, you grow your own dirt? Yes. You have to grow your own dirt or buy dirt if you want to have a good garden. There's many ways you can grow it. One of the ways is composting. You can do hot composting or cold composting. I like to do hot composting because it turns the compost in the soil a lot faster. Hot composting will turn it into dirt in about 6 weeks. Cold composting can take 6 months, 8 months, sometimes even a year. So I prefer hot composting. You invest a little bit more time in hot composting because you got to turn it a couple times a week, but that's okay. You need to be farm strong. I like to use horse manure for my compost piles. I don't have any horses. Craigslist is a good source for horse manure. If you're really, really lucky, that's free. And if you're really, really, really lucky, the guy has a tractor and he loads it for you. I have a couple of different sources I use, and one of them actually has a tractor. It literally takes him 3 scoops to fill up my trailer, and I usually get 2 loads. I'd rather much shovel a pile of horse manure once as opposed to twice when you load the trailer and then unload the trailer. This is the best way to shovel compost. Have somebody else do it for you. But you don't need horse manure. You can do it from leaves and grass clippings and food scrap and stuff like that. I just like this because it's a free resource and it's a lot, and you can generate a lot of soil, which we go through a lot of. And I'd rather you have free soil than go to Lowe's and pay $6 a bag for black cow. I've done that, but only when my piles aren't ready. You can see I got 2 piles here. One's already about halfway through the composting stage, and the other one is fresh horse manure that we got from a local farm. You'll see the one here actually started out at the same height as that one originally was. And you can see that the composting process is moving along really well. You want to make sure that you're hot composting correctly. You want to make sure that the temperature range is right. You can buy a composting thermometer, and I'll have my assistant bring me one. It's just a thermometer, which has the ranges on there. And then it's got I've got the 3-foot one. So when you stick it in, it goes into the center of the pile, and it's going to give you a reading. So let's see what temperature our compost pile's at. So my reading on my compost pile is actually telling me it's running a little cold. And that's most likely because when Jay flipped this for me last week when I was on the road. And when I talked to him about it, actually still climbing, when I talked to him about it, he didn't put any emulsion on it, or fish emulsion on it. You don't have to have fish emulsion to have composting, but you do have to keep it moist. So the fish emulsion does 2 things. It keeps it moist and it feeds it more good bacteria. So it's actually running a little bit colder than what I like. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and flip this. We're going to give it some fish emulsion, and then we're going to start doing the new pile. Dead mosquito. And then we'll set up the new pile. So when you look at this, the temperature range is really supposed to be in the red area for hot composting, right? It's supposed to be in the temperature range of from about 130 to about 160, and we're running a little short of that. So just out of curiosity, let's go and stick it in the new pile. This hasn't been composted yet. This is just literally horse manure and hay that's been sitting here for a week. So let's see what this temperature measures at. Look at that, it's already by itself. As you can see, the new pile is already in the red, which is good, but it does need to be turned and set up, and it does need to be covered. And we're going to add some stuff to it. So let's go ahead and get this started. As you can see, this has a nice brown color to it, so it's already well on its way to becoming good topsoil. It doesn't look like the hay and the other stuff in the other pile. And this might actually be cooling off because it's getting closer to being done composting. So as you can see the smoke, that's a good sign that's composting. So if you put your hand near it, you can actually feel the heat. One of the things with composting is you need enough mass in order for it to work right. You want a pile that's roughly 3 feet tall by 3 feet wide. The bigger the better. You don't necessarily need a thermometer. Some people actually stick their hands into it. I don't do that. I like the thermometer because I like doing things, I don't know. I'm a numbers guy. I need numbers. Thank God this is not smell-o-vision, because you wouldn't like the smell. So about every 2 feet or so, you want to put some water. I'm putting fish emulsion in mine again because it helps accelerate the composting process. You're just going to pour a little bit in, put some more on, more material on, put some more water, put some more material. You're baking a compost cake.
You have an audience today. Logan's not feeling good. What you doing, Levi? Did y'all help Poppy do some mulch yesterday?
Yeah, they did. Worked your butts off yesterday. Contrary to popular belief, if you do composting correctly, it doesn't stink. It actually, as a compost, you can start getting a sweet smell. If your compost pile stinks, your mixture is out of whack. You want 50% green and 50% brown. If you get too much, then it starts getting some smells. It's an easy way to diagnose if your pile's going good. So right now I'm staying between these two piles, and really there's no odor. The only odor I really have is from my fish emulsion in the bucket over there.
Up, OSHA's on site.
Uh-oh, I'm not wearing my PPE. Hi, Jenny girl.
Logan, what are you doing?
Pulling up these plants and rhizomes.
Why?
Because they're poisonous to the goats.
Ah.
Chicky Chick's digging in the dirt I threw over there for her.
Sasha.
You do that every day.
Twice a week. When I'm on the road, your dad turns it on Wednesdays for me. And then I do the weekend. Okay, Levi, I need you to rake right here, buddy. Can you rake that for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Rake it up nice and good. Good job, buddy. The last step is to cover the compost pile. The cover is not to keep it from getting wet, it's to keep it moist inside so it doesn't dry out. So just a regular tarp will do fine, and it'll keep that moisture in, and then check the temperature next time, and then flip it, 2 to 3 days after that. In about 6 weeks, you'll have a good pile of soil.
This is
Uh-oh, Noel got out.
Poppy, I know how to get out of it. There's a hole right there.
Up, Mama.
Where are they getting out?
There was a big hole right here.
He just put it back. That's what I thought Prancer was getting.
And this might have been how Prancer got there.
It might be.
Y'all don't listen.
Bubby, be quiet. The key is, when you're shoveling, buddy, you want what was on the outside to end up in the middle, and what was on the inside before to end up on the outside.
Good job. You helping Poppy?
Yeah,
What are you doing?
I'm Mexican.
You see Levi helping you, Poppy?
I do see that. My big helper.
Right side for right side.
It's nice having some strong grandboys, isn't it?
Push down. Can you touch it?
Yep.
Okay. All right, left.
Really good.
Put on your crusty, dusty Shiba. That's like a volcano.
See, that stops it from running. That sinks down into the pile. Now you might be thinking, that's a lot of work for free dirt. It is, don't get me wrong. But you know where this dirt came from. You know what's in this dirt. And if you're trying to make sure your plants grow in an environment where there's no pesticides and stuff, or if you're just cheap like me, it's a great thing to do. Plus, keeps you fit. So until then, live your own story. Get back to work.